Breakin Ballz with Johnny P.
What are you breaking my balls for? All right, it's about that time for another episode of Breakin Ballz. I'm your host, Johnny P, like you didn't know. And joining me tonight, joining me tonight is just one of the crew. We have the lovely and charming Concetta Rose Rella here tonight.
Yay!
What's up, buddy?
Clap for myself because there's nobody else.
Yeah, Lou Martini.
We're two men down tonight.
Yeah, Lou Martini's in the hospital. He had a little surgery done to his throat. He goes, John, I can't make it tonight, John.
John, I have no voice, John.
I got to take it off, John. So he's off. He sends his best. He's doing good in recovery. Garry Pastore went out with Mike Marino today. They got their ashes. They ate some shellfish, and then Garry blew up. And
wasn't from the shellfish though. It's from the peanuts.
That's what he told you. They found the peanuts.
He said it was a peanut allergy. I'll pull up the receipts, but he said
I believe it.
Allergy.
Whatever. But we miss him. But you know what? I've been waiting to get this debut with her as Regis and Kelly meets Johnny P and Concetta Rose, because down the road, since we're the youngest cast members of the group, this is what's gonna sell when those guys are ready to go into the old folks' home. Forget about it.
The youngest cast members.
Yeah, I am in between everybody. She's the youngest, but I could lie and say I'm younger. Good hair dye, So what's happening? Talk to me.
Oh, just like trying to handle this weather changing. I think I almost called it a beaver. What is it? A groundhog. The groundhog, I think, was wrong. I think we are getting spring, and if not, I'm gonna will it into existence.
I hope so.
I'm so sick of this weather, man. I'm so sick of it.
How's that lovely daughter of yours? She's a pisser.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
The next Shirley Temple, I think.
We had a really good Valentine's Day a while back together. That was lovely.
Good.
Just living life. I like this shirt on you. It's very nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate only the one button being open.
You know what it is? I get compliments when there's no other men around. But it's all good. Thank you. I know. I try not. Listen, if I do wear and I'm like this,
all right.
Tell me. Let me.
This is too much.
No, it is. Let me know. I don't want to be like John Travolta.
It's an aggressive look.
Yeah.
Double button open.
It's tired.
Yeah.
If I had the Guinea T-shirt on, it'd be a whole different story.
All right, let's get to our guest.
Why don't we bring on this guest? She's very special, you might say.
Amazing.
She's like good and plenty, and she's hailing all the way from Long Island. She's an actress, she's a writer, she's a comedian, and she has her own talk show, and it's called Tea Time. So let's give it up for Theresa Cannistraci. What's up, baby?
Hey! Hi, guys.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
What do I owe this pleasure you being here?
Well, I love coming to Staten Italy. You know what I mean? It's a nice drive. And, you did my show, and we had a great time. And
how many years did you try to get me to do your show? A long time, right?
Not really.
Since you started. No, we kind of hit it off.
We did.
You sold me over the summertime at Garry Pastore's party.
We did. We had a good time.
We all hung out.
Just this past summer?
Yeah.
Or a while back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because she's always there every summer. But because the ride sometimes, and if I'm working, it's hard. So bada bing, bada boom. We would just always talk. We drank till about 3:30 in the morning.
Nice.
And then that was it. I just said, okay.
It was fun. And we had a sleepover.
I'll come on the show. Yeah, nothing happened. We were just She was on one
We were in
couch.
different rooms.
I was on the other couch.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a good
That's great.
time.
No, we were in the same room, but you were over there, and I was over there.
Yeah, it was
There
good.
was someone on the floor too.
No, it was fun. It was fun. It was a good
But
time.
yeah, we had a good time, and then that's it. Here you are.
Yeah,
So talk to us.
I'm here.
4 years old, you started the stage. Your mother
4
sent you
years
for
old.
dance lessons, right?
Yeah. My mom put me on stage at 4 years old, tap dancing.
Love it.
And ever since then, I was like, ooh, I like this. And from there, I did a lot of theater, a lot of community theater, anything in school I would get involved in. Yeah. And then from there, if you want to fast forward to the early 90s, friends of mine,
do that, so go
friends
ahead.
of mine gave me this birthday card. And there was like a half-naked guy on the cover, and it said, your birthday fantasy. So I'm thinking like a night with Antonio Sabato Jr. back then. And it was actually comedy classes to the Learning Annex in Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I think, 6 weeks. And after the 6 weeks, you had to perform at Stand Up New York. he had to write 5 minutes of material. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. And like, we paid for it. You're going to do it. And I was like, they're like, you're funny. I'm like, I'm funny around you guys. But I'm like, to get up on stage, that's like a whole other animal.
Yeah, it is.
So I write my 5 minutes of material. And my teacher, Richard Minster, God bless him, said, okay, Cannistraci. Well, back then I was Manzo. Manzo, you're going up first. And I was like, what? I'm like, no. The more they drink, the funnier I am. And he's like, no, you're the funniest one in the class. And I said, well, does that mean everyone else sucks? Am I really that funny? He goes, no, you're really that funny. So I figured in the early 90s, I was going to get my own sitcom or I'll end up on SNL.
Right.
Because that's what I wanted to do back then. And I came close a couple of times, but you know how this business is.
I do.
You know?
I do.
You love the business, it don't love you too much.
Not always. But wait, there's a story before that, though, right?
Yeah.
There's a story.
Oh, when I was in the
famous
dancing,
audition story you have? All right.
So when I was in dancing school, I don't know if I was 6, 7 years old, the producers of The Godfather walked into the dancing school.
Hello.
And they were looking for little kids to run around the wedding scene. And they picked 3 of my friends. They're Italian. They pick a couple of other my friends. They were actually half Italian, half Asian, but they looked Italian. I go, I'm Italian. And they go, oh, but you don't look Italian. And I'm like, I know I have blue eyes. And back then my hair was lighter, like light. And I was like, but I'm 100% Sicilian. And they're like, we're sorry, little girl, you don't. And I went crying home to my. I was like 6 or 7.
Wow.
I go crying home to my mother. I'm like, they told me I didn't look Italian. They're all going to be in the movie but me. And till this day, they still get residuals. I mean, it's not like a lot.
And you know what? Excuse me. Good thing Lou wasn't here because Lou tells us every friggin' other show that he was a kid actor on The Godfather.
He was.
Yeah, I was on The Godfather. I was a kid on the right next to the other guy with the blue. You know, my father, he co-starred. He was in Louis Bosco.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know it in my
That's
sleep.
wild.
Like I'm sleeping, I hear The Godfather. I think of Louis starts talking.
So that was my first official rejection.
You know what, though? But I want to ask you about that because first of all, to be 6 or 7 years old and to have enough sense and courage to say, like, what about me?
Yeah.
I never would have done that. I never would. I still would probably struggle with being like, excuse me, but that's, so I think that's like commendable for a child to have that kind of courage. But also, did it affect you and how did it affect you in terms of continuing on in the business?
Yeah, well, my wise Sicilian father always said it never hurts to ask.
Right.
Because all a person could say is no.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem asking anybody for anything
That's
because
good.
I'm used to no.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of made me to the point where I didn't want to take no for an answer, even though I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was upset. I was jealous. I was angry. I had all those emotions being so young.
Sure.
Yeah. And and then you ask that question, even as you get older, why me? Why me? And then you have to turn it around and say, why not me?
Yeah.
Why not me? And you just have to keep going. So I think it just made me to the point where, I'm going to just, not knock on doors. I want to kick them in.
Yeah.
Until something happens or someone says yes. Or, a lot of people ask me something and I'll say yes because I don't know where it's going to take me, who I'm going to meet, where it's going to lead me, you know. And in this business, it's all about networking and, meeting people.
You got to be all over the place. Like I was mentioning, we were talking the other day about bookings and guests and meeting people and getting people for the show.
Yeah.
And I had an advantage from years ago when I was in the music business. I hung out with promoters, Nicky Camp and, Rick Spaulding and Dean Holtzman. So I learned from those guys and I took it to my level and I just took it to the next level. But you got to go to a lot of conventions. You got to go to meet and greets. You got to go to people's shows.
Yeah.
You got to, going backstage to concerts help a lot too. But you got to do a lot of legwork, the Chiller Expo, shit like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
For many, many years.
Yeah.
It takes, that.
Yeah.
And then once you get to like 10 years, the guests kind of come to you because
Right,
everyone knows
right.
somebody.
Yeah.
Sure. Networking actually takes off then.
Yeah.
And actually does what you want it to do from the beginning.
Yeah.
But being so young, I just think that could have easily been a moment where you just hung it up. And it could have been totally traumatizing and hurt you too much at such a sensitive age, and you could have been like, nah, this is not for me. But instead it had the exact opposite reaction.
It did.
Of like, you know what?
Did.
I'm here anyway. I'm staying.
Because I really feel in my heart, and I don't mean this to sound corny, seriously, but I feel I was put on this earth to entertain. in any way, shape, or form. You know, I joke.
1-800.
I joke around all the time. I say I joke around. I say I sing, I dance, I act. So I'm like J-Lo, except I don't have her ass or her money. But it's like I tell my mom, it's like throwing spaghetti up against the wall. Eventually something has to stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going. Because once you give up, that's it. The dream's over.
You know what it is, too, and you all know, and Concetta's a long-time actress, and the thing is, you have a fire in your heart, and
Right.
it doesn't matter how big that fire is or the ambition or the goal. You know, mine was to be a rock star, and I felt it so much in my heart that I was going to make it. I just felt like I was going to do it until I hit a brick wall by the time I was in my late 30s. And I was so depressed when the band broke up. I was like, what am I going to do with my life now?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
And it was really like I was like depressed until like I had to really just, face it after a year.
Yeah.
Everyone said, "Oh, you tried your best, you did your best." And I did. I ran as far as I could. What I could just say is we came out too late with our stuff. Our shit was classic rock, hard rock, little metal. It came out in the mid-'90s into the 2000s. At that time, they weren't signing any rock bands. It was all hip-hop and rap. So we missed that boat.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the 80s, and we came out with that stuff in the 80s. We would have definitely had a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
But we didn't know at the time. We just went with what we knew.
No.
How could you write something that you don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel life's all about timing.
Sure.
And I let go, let God. I can't stress. I don't stress over anything anymore, especially as you get
That's so
older.
good.
You know, as you get
Yeah.
older, you're like,
It's true.
you
You
put up with
care.
less,
Yeah.
and you can't stress because you can only control the things that you can control, not the things you can't.
Absolutely.
And just go with it.
So you got the classes. You went.
I did. I went, and then I had to perform at Stand Up New York, and I did very well. And my girlfriend, here's my second rejection. You ready? My girlfriend worked for Maury Povich, A Current Affair.
Oh, wow.
She was the
wow.
producer.
Okay.
And she said to me, listen, there's this contest going on, Funniest Girl from Queens, and I'm from Bayside. So she said, do you want to do it? And I go, yeah. So I go, and she goes, listen, whether you win or not, we want to do a whole expose on you. We're going to mic you up, get you coming out of the subway. I felt like Mary Tyler Moore. I just needed the hat to throw up in the air, right? And she said, it's all going to be all about you. And I was like, cool. So I ended up winning the contest, Funniest Girl from Queens.
Amazing.
And it was great. When I tell you, because I'm like thinking this is it. Someone's going to see this and I'm going to end up on SNL or get my own sitcom. Because back then, your top 5 sitcoms were Roseanne, Tim Allen, Seinfeld,
Oh yeah.
Ellen,
Yeah.
right? And the other guy from Home Improvement. What's his name?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen. Yeah, I think I said it. So anyway, so I'm thinking this is it. This is
That's
it. This is
90s
it.
or 80s?
This is 90s,
yeah.
early 90s. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is it. And I said to my girlfriend, Evelyn, how do I get the footage? I'm like, how do I get the footage? And she said, because of copyright infringements, you have to wait until it airs. So I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. This is it. Someone's going to see it, see how funny I am, my characters, everything I do. So they canceled the show a week before it aired.
Oh man.
So no one ever got to see it.
Yeah.
And including me.
You never got the tape after all that?
No, because it never aired. So I couldn't even get my hands on
It
it.
sucks when
Oh,
that
that
happens.
sucks.
And I was like,
Oh,
you know.
man.
I was like, all right, next. My cousin works for Oxygen. He calls me up one day. He goes, T, listen, they're having auditions for how to make bruschetta. You know, like when you wait online at Walmart and you see the
Yeah.
advertisement?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, send it to me. Sends it to me. And back then in the early 90s, you have to remember, Martha Stewart was extremely popular back then.
Right.
So all the girls coming into audition, they look like the Stepford Wives. They all look like Martha Stewart. Every single one of them. So they all go in and you could see them audition because the cubicles were all glass.
Right.
And I'm watching. Now it's my turn. So I go in, I put like my little Italian twist on it. And the camera woman and the casting director, they're laughing hysterical. Both women laughing hysterical. And they're like, that was great. But this time, can you actually pretend like you're cutting the tomato, slicing the bread? Which I did. I got through it, but it's kind of like tapping your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time.
Yes.
So I got through it and they're cracking up, laughing hysterical. And I'm like, this is good. This is good. So I meet my friends after and they're like, how'd it go? I said, I made them laugh. I was different from the other Stepford Wives walking in, like the Martha Stewart clones. And I don't hear anything. So So I called my cousin like a couple of weeks later. And I go, Michael, I says, do you know whatever happened to that audition? And he goes, you never heard anything? And I go, no. He goes, let me make a phone call. He calls me back. He goes, you're not going to believe it. I go, believe me, I will. He said they squashed the whole idea.
Oh, my God.
I said, okay. So, I mean, it's just,
Wow. Wow.
You know, it's
But
like
you know
that-
what? At least there's not somebody else like replacing you
Yeah,
or something.
right?
You know what I mean? That you're like,
Exactly.
this person.
Exactly.
You know, it's just
You
like
know,
the
it's like
they're
that song, I get knocked down, I get up again. That's what you got to keep
Let
doing.
me interrupt you, ladies. Now,
Yeah.
talk about what made you start your own talk show, Tea Time, and what are you doing? About 6 years, 7
I'm
years?
doing
what?
7 years. My friends call me T.
And they still got you there?
Yeah, I'm still there. And what happened was is I actually was a guest.
So
He
rude.
knows I'm
It's
always
okay.
breaking your chops. You know that.
I know. It's Breakin Ballz. I was a guest on someone else's show.
Right.
And they said, hey, how would you like to be the first female comedian to host your own show? And I was like, all right, cool. How much does it pay? And they go, no. You get sponsors.
You're that one. You're not getting
You
paid.
pay us. You get sponsors. You pay us. And I was like, which I did. I was there a year. And then my friend, shout out to Bobby Lacera at Strong Island Studios, Paradise Studios in Massapequa. He said, T, come to me. So I'm there 6 years. I interview people in the entertainment industry, producers, writers, directors, comics. I've had on sports people. I've had on Doc Gooden and Perry Williams, who won a Super Bowl with the Giants, and anyone who entertains.
Yeah.
The great, wonderful Mark Mendoza from Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Donnie Most from Happy Days.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ralph Mouth.
Ralph
cool,
Mouth.
yeah.
Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster on The Munsters.
Oh,
The
I
late,
know.
great Bobby Rydell, who was amazing. Johnny P. was
that
on
guy?
the
What a
show.
prick he is.
And Garry Pastore and Lou Martini Jr. And I
John.
actually invited Concetta on the show, so hopefully I'll
She'll
get
be
her
on.
on the show.
You know,
But,
the problem is with her
yeah.
thing. You ever go to Florida, down in Orlando, the monorail train? You gotta take the monorail train to get to the friggin' this place
It's all
over
the way
here.
out there in Long Island.
Without traffic, it's an hour.
Without traffic, it's an hour,
traffic.
5
That,
minutes.
It's
but
an
that's
hour.
not real. See, that's what they tell you to get you to go to Long Island, but that's
But it
not
is
real.
true.
There's always traffic.
Well,
Yeah,
it
but-
depends on what time of day.
Yeah, I
Johnny
went
came
11
every
When am I
day.
going to go? 4 o'clock in the morning?
No.
11 o'clock in the morning to about 1 o'clock, there's no traffic. I went,
That's
Yeah, he came-
and
he
then
came
when
in the
no, I
afternoon.
swear.
That's BS because of the trucks and making the deliveries.
No, but they did. But
There's always something.
No
when
trucks
they
on the Southern
leave
State.
later, they're gonna go home. I'll put a bet on you. I'll make it 3-1. They'll get home and
Fast. You'll get home
really
fast,
fast.
yeah.
It's like going to Queens almost, but they got to pass Queens.
Yeah, but it's not without traffic. It is an hour.
What are you, Barbarino? What?
What?
I mean,
What?
you're asking her where she lives, her exact location.
I
I'd
know
be
where she
scared
lives.
at you too. I'd be like, what do you
GPS it.
want?
She slipped me her number and her address when I saw her at
Back
Gary's.
off,
She's like-
back off. Don't
Oh.
listen.
And I went like this. The garbage.
Let me
I'm
ask
only
you
kidding.
this
I'm
question
only
that's going to make all the men
Ask me,
uncomfortable.
girl.
So,
I'm only
you know,
kidding.
being a female so long in this business and everything, and you're still going strong, I'm curious as to like double standards. And so, what do you find to be the biggest double standard that you come across?
Well, let's face it. It's a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
Like most of them are.
Right.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think that we have made some progress over the years, but then when you think you did, you get pulled back a little bit.
Sure.
And I think that it's important for women to write, to produce,
Yeah.
to make their own content.
That's her.
Because
Amen.
if you don't, you know, then you miss opportunities.
There's a lot of ladies out there. Look at Eva Longoria. She's rocking pretty much, right?
Jennifer Esposito.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
there-
She did her
quite
There's
movie.
a lot of
Yeah.
ladies. Even
No,
I
it's
mean, I'm not
true.
a fan, but Oprah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, she's got her own production company. You know, it's nice when you have, listen, the bottom line is you got to have the
J-Lo.
fuzzles. You got to
Right.
have the money.
Right.
Doesn't
You
matter
have to have
who
the
you
money.
are. If you
Poor
got the
Jennifer's,
money-
she's losing her house because she took out a mortgage to make her movie.
Jennifer
Really?
Esposito.
Yeah, well, okay.
Really?
Yeah, Fresh Kills.
Yeah, I
Great
saw it.
movie.
It was a good movie. Did you
Good
see it?
movie.
No, but
she
I have heard
mortgaged
of
her
it.
house to make this movie, and now she's losing her house. I mean, it's still a double
And
standard.
you know what? A lot of people in the industry that I see. Thank God I'm not an actor. I mean, yeah.
You've dabbled.
I
You have.
dabbled, but you really got to hone your craft. And I won't go into I tell everybody after spending all that time in the music business and starting life over financially, now at the point of my life, if I go full time in the acting business and I don't make it, I'll be in the street.
Yeah.
I'll be in the Salvation Army in my
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah, I know.
I can't risk that.
Only a
Yeah.
handful.
And I'm making up for it now, breaking my ass. But listen,
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
God gave. I'm still healthy and I'm working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So, but yeah, if I didn't dabble in the music business, I was a safe guy. I'd have a real lot of money, houses.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't look back and take it back. I had a great time. Met a lot of beautiful people, and and it brought me where I'm at today.
Yeah.
God has a plan for everything.
Yeah.
I believe,
Amen.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe
That's
that
how I
too.
feel.
You know.
Yeah.
but yeah, So what's the next move for you?
What's the next move for me? I actually have a movie right now on Amazon Prime.
Amazing.
It's a rom-com. I play the lead's mom.
What does a rom-com mean?
Romantic
Romantic
comedy.
Oh, rom-com. Say hi. That just show my age on that one.
It's called It's Love Bro.
Okay. It's
and
love,
it's
bro.
yeah, and it's on Amazon Prime. And then I have another movie called Horsetown, which is not a romantic comedy. I play a real estate agent by day, and I'm in a cult by night.
yeah?
Yeah, and that's on Reveal.
Did you do research?
Reveel. So
That's amazing.
just look for it.
Did
So,
you have to do research for that? Cult business?
a little bit, just a little, to submerge yourself into the
Yeah,
character.
And
So,
you
what's your favorite thing to do? Stand-up comedy, hosting, acting?
Oh, I'll tell you the truth. I love entertaining.
Yeah.
But if I have to take my pick,
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
love
new character.
I love the acting. I love it. And I do a lot of different characters. When I
Mm-hmm.
do my stand-up comedy, I do a feminine douche commercial. And I do a valley girl, my
Yeah.
Italian grandmother, and a lesbian construction worker.
Dude,
I love
give us a
it.
taste of one
It's
of
very
them.
funny.
What's the lesbian construction worker?
Oh, I don't know. How clean can I have to keep it? I don't know. I just,
Believe it.
you know, I
You're on the
it's a
spotlight
whole
now.
bit. It's a whole bit.
Do
you
the
know,
tampon thing. then.
I've got
Tampon.
I've got
She said douche.
I got props. And shout out to Bob Nelson because Bob was on HBO a lot with Dangerfield with Rodney.
Oh, cool.
And he did Jiffy Jeff's Gym and he
Oh,
did the
yeah?
boxing bit. So he was a prop comic. So
Yeah.
that's where I got it from.
I
That's
love Bunny
amazing.
Dangerfield.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
Like
That's
the
great.
old time comedians were great because they didn't curse and they delivered it.
It was clean
Yeah, it
comedy.
was clean.
Especially Dangerfield and Red Fox and a
Oh,
lot of those
yeah.
guys. I mean, Lenny Bruce was the first one that was really brutal.
Yeah,
But yeah, those guys took it home. Don Rickles was great.
yeah.
So
Like that,
But
right? I do.
Jerry Seinfeld said, "Clean means green." So if you work clean, it's green. In other
Yeah.
words, you can work anywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can work anywhere.
and you know what? A lot of people love the cursing, but there's a lot of people that don't like the cursing.
No,
Yeah.
and there's no reason to sound like a truck driver with every other word FFFF. You don't need to be funny to curse.
And
Right,
Sebastian
right.
really don't curse, does he?
Very little.
Um,
Very little. He's not a huge
No,
potty
yeah,
mouth.
I
No,
don't feel
right?
that. No.
Yeah.
Potty
really.
mouth. Who called me a potty mouth?
A lot of
recently?
people.
Yeah, you,
I'm sure.
you do have a little bit of a potty mouth. I mean,
I know.
it's fine. It's part of your charm. You're the kernel of colloquialisms.
I'm working on it, By the time I'm in my deathbed, I'll have it all right. Almost.
That's great. Great timing on your part.
That's how long it's going to take to reform myself. I always ask God for guidance.
Yeah.
But I don't want to change too much. I just want to tune it down a little because I don't want to lose my edge.
Oh, yeah, because he's so edgy.
Is it?
He's so edgy.
My razor edge.
Mm.
So sharp.
Yeah.
So Theresa.
Concetta.
Forget it.
And I
Just
and I
me and
to-
you now.
and I
You guys
told-
could be
yeah,
like Laverne
and
and
I told
Shirley,
you,
definitely.
I also you and I talked about this last time I saw you. I met you for the first time at Johnny's last show.
Yeah.
I'm in the longest murder mystery show in
That's
New
right.
York.
That's
Which
right.
one's that?
Murdered by the Mob.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were in that for a long time?
I'm still in
She's
it.
still in it.
Yeah.
And they're still running it? I didn't know.
Yeah, we do it at the the Iron Bar in Manhattan. There's a downstairs. There's a speakeasy called the Secret
cool.
Room,
Very
and we
cool.
do it down there.
Without mentioning names.
Okay, because they're in witness protection.
No, because then they think they're movie stars.
Okay.
Are the same old usual suspects in it from like back in the day? A couple of our friends of ours.
It's a rotating cast, as you know, by doing this.
Yeah.
It's a rotating cast, but we've had quite a few people who you know in it, and then some people, few people that. Yeah, I could throw it out there. Artie Pasquale.
I love
Will
Artie.
be
the guys that
will
we
be
love,
joining
you can
us.
throw out there.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
and a couple other people might be joining us.
That's
it's
amazing.
fun. It's so much
Artie
fun.
Pasquale is
Yeah.
one of the best.
Yeah, he
was in
is.
The Sopranos,
He
but he
is,
was.
yeah.
And a guest of ours.
Yes, he was on.
Yeah.
Biggest gentleman you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicest
Sweet.
guy in the
He was
world.
so
Do
sweet.
anything for you. Really, really, really good guy.
It's a lot of fun,
Love
What
Artie.
role do you play? Or do
I
you
play.
multiple
Okay,
roles?
so at first in the beginning, I was an understudy for Bunny, who's the boss's wife.
Okay.
And then they said, listen, can you come in and play the police officer? And I said, sure. And she is very butch lesbian girl. And I said, I don't want to play her like that. And they said, well, how do you want to play her? I said, I want to play her as a ditzy blonde who slept with the boss to get the job. And, her bosoms are protruding. And so when I showed up wearing my police uniform, because I was a auxiliary police
think I saw
officer
that
back in the
picture.
day. You did.
You were?
Yeah, I did.
real?
I did at the 111
Oh.
precinct in Bayside. I was
Wow.
because I wanted to become a cop, and my father was like, nah. So I did auxiliary for a few years
Really?
in Bayside.
So wait, your father talked you out of becoming?
He did, and I'm like, come on, I could put in 20 and be retired at like 42.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh, he
kidding?
was worried for you.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
worried
yeah.
for me. They were
Yeah.
listen, being the oldest.
Yeah, I was gonna say Italians too.
you
like
know.
being a
My father was like
girl,
that.
My
dad was
father,
like that for
very,
sure,
very
for
strict.
sure.
There's only two ways to leave the house:
Yeah.
death or marriage.
Oh my God! Whoa.
Okay. So,
Wow.
growing
That's
up
so
in a very
intense.
strict Sicilian household
Yeah,
and being the
yeah.
oldest and female,
Yeah.
it was not easy. I used to tell him all the
Sure.
time, this is a communistic household. We're not allowed to question why. Because he's like, don't you ask me why.
Yeah.
You just do it.
It's harder for the ladies when he's when he's around the house.
It
growing up.
is because
Yeah.
of that reason right there.
Oh, and I said to my mother, "Oh, how come Daddy won't let me date? Oh, he's afraid that the boys are going to try to do what he tried to do when he was younger." I said, "Oh, so I have to suffer because Daddy was a dog? Come on."
I love it.
My
You
mother
know?
wanted me out of the house, and my father wanted me to stay because his father died when he was 18, so he loved when we were around.
Oh,
He goes, "I
yeah.
want to live my life with you guys."
Yeah.
So he used to see me. He always. I worked with him, so every day. So what are you going to do with your life? It's like one of those old Twisted Sisters videos. Goes, what are you going to do with your life? I go, I'm going to be a rock star. He goes, yeah, but what if that doesn't work?
Right.
You got to have
What's
a
your
city
backup?
job. You got to have this, and you can still do the music. He goes, I
Yeah.
love you. You do. He goes, I'm going to be every day. But I took all the tests. I just didn't take it serious enough. So the sanitation was easy. But the fire department, I would have loved to be on. I just didn't study hard
Really?
enough.
Yeah.
Everyone aced 98, 100. I was like a 90 and 91. It wasn't enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. So, and that was the time just when
Wow.
they stopped.
You guys are so brave. I'm such a wuss. I am. I'm such a wuss. I never for a second thought about a service job because the reality of
Yeah.
it is quite.
Well, my
Quite
dad
scary.
actually wanted me. He goes, my whole family's in Local 3, the IBEW, International
Electrician?
Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So they're in
Wow.
Local 3. So my dad's like, maybe you want to think about becoming an electrician
okay.
because
Yeah.
they make really good money. You have medical benefits the rest of your life. And I'm thinking, listen,
nuts.
I respect electricians, my brother, my family, but it's not something I wanted to do
Yeah.
as far as a vocation goes. You know what I mean?
Right,
Especially as a
right.
backup.
You know
I'm
what it
like,
is for a
right.
woman? I don't think that's the right job, but there are a lot of ladies that do it, but they're more on the butch end, the tough end. You know what I mean? Because good thing you got to pull.
Talking about
Yeah,
double
you know what's
standards.
easier?
No, they
Listen to
are.
me. You
I know.
can be-
I know a lot of girls. They're like,
Listen,
Tell 'em.
they'll knock
Tell
me
'em.
out.
I said to my mother, joking around, because I used to give my mother gray hair a lot. I said, I want to get a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo. She said, no, Why you living in this house? I'm like, Daddy has one. Well, your father was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And it says USS Conway on it. She goes, what would you get anyway? And I used to love to drive my mother nuts. And I'm like, down there, slippery when wet. She's like, what? What? And I'm like, come on, Ma. And she's like, no, Theresa, come on, be serious. And I'm like, I can't be serious.
The FCC's going to be coming down on me for that,
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Okay, well, listen, that's our time, Theresa. We
Yay,
had a great
Theresa.
time.
That went fast.
It went fast, yeah.
Thank you for having me. I
Half
appreciate
hour.
it.
So where
Being
can people
here.
find you on social media,
Yeah.
website?
It's Theresa Cannistraci Farrell on Facebook. And then it's Theresa.c.farrell on Instagram. And
And then headahopper.com, right? No.
what?
You know who Hedda?
No.
You know who Hedda Hopper is?
No.
Hedda Hopper.
She was
She was a reporter.
She
from
was a
back
reporter.
In,
She
in
used
the
to
50s.
do the Hollywood people. She
Yeah.
used to dig up dirt on
Yeah, she was the bomb
on people.
back then. That
She
Hedda
was. She
Hopper.
was. No. And that's about it. And then my show is every Monday night, 8:00
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube and Facebook, called Tea Time. And it goes to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Apple
Amazing.
TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard and seen every Saturday at 10 a.m. on channel 20 for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum
And
TV.
it's on
Ooh,
our
that's
website too
nice.
for $1.
Yeah, dollar.
Well, Teresa, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you
much
for
for
having me.
being
This is
here.
fun.
Next thing you do, we bring you back on.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have some more fun,
Yeah.
all right?
Okay.
And Concetta Rose, this is me and you. We
Johnny
rocked
P,
it.
it's been a blast.
We're going to make a reel after the next show. We're going to send it into ABC and CBS and say,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
we're the next Dynamite duo.
Yeah.
That's us.
So, all right, everybody. It's always nice to be nice. You know, help an old lady cross the street, open the door for a woman, you know, things like that, carry groceries. But whose balls could you break this week? Good night.
Breaking balls with Johnny